Well, this is a first for this channel, an actual requested video from one of my longtime viewers. Most of my reviews have just been stuff I've been knocking off a hit list. But thankfully, the movie in my crosshairs today is a film I actually grew up with. The 1995 Casper film put out by Universal. I said I grew up with it, I didn't say I was a big fan of it. But I will admit that I do have nostalgia toward this film. I was 6 when I watched it, for crying out loud, so it's kind of hard not to. Well, might as well start at the beginning, all the way at the beginning in fact, the 1930s, with his creators Seymour Wright and Joe Orleo. Joe and Seymour actually intended Casper to be a book series for kids, but only got one book published out of it. There wasn't enough interest at the time to merit any more, so eventually they sold the book rights to Paramount for one measly payment of $175. Damn. Paramount then got to work making cartoon shorts involving the Spectre to play in between movie features in theaters back in 1945. After a short time, interest started to increase with the character, and before long, Harvey Comics approached Paramount for a license deal to make, well, comics at Casper, publishing beginning in 1949, and being a weekly affair until Harvey Comics purchased the character outright 10 years later, and ending his theater run for a while and appearing in comic form and TV show appearances of Maddie's Fun Day Funnies and syndicated on Harvey Toons up into the mid-80s. And with the turn of the decade in 1990, also went the rights for Harvey Comics. Universal purchased the rights with the intent of making movies out of their IPs. Casper being the first and only IP from Harvey Comics to get a theatrical release. I haven't seen a more wasted purchase since Disney bought Fox. To think this character has such a convoluted backstory is just mind-boggling. Casper went from a children's book to cartoon played in theaters, back to print form as a comic, and then a cartoon character spawning multiple TV shows and appearances, all the way back to theaters with his own movie. Such a messy history, it's fitting his movie would be just as messy. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm talking about. The movie actually starts off promising, with 2 kids breaking into an old manor trying to take a picture as proof to their friends that they're not chicken.
Now wait a minute, I gotta be in the picture too or no one will believe I was here. Just shut up and take the picture. No, you take the picture. You take it. You.
Hey dumbasses, why not take multiple shots? It's a Polaroid. You can take multiple shots.
I'll take the picture. Say cheese.
Jesus, that's terrifying. Kid on the right invoked his inner Steven Tyler, damn it. Not a bad start since this is Casper's bread and butter, trying to make friends but scaring the shit out of him at every turn. Par for the course and faithful for the source material. I mean, the cartoons wasn't exactly Shakespeare's. Then we get to the plot with this lady, Kerrigan.
I'll contest, and then I'm gonna drag you and every one of those damn dolphins into court.
Knock yourself out.
Are we sure it's not Karen? Oh, look, Eric Idle. He's kind of funny here, but nowhere as funny as he could be. And Ben Stein. I'll get to you in a minute. Kerrigan is here to claim her inheritance from her recently passed father, in a way that's best explained by Dibs here.
The sudden death of her only father has left a great gaping void in her bank, in her life, and Kerrigan wonders what he has left her to fill it up with.
Out of spite, the old man decided to will all of his money to random charities and leaves Kerrigan with a single piece of property. Whipstaff Manor, Casper's current haunt. Kerrigan isn't too thrilled about it.
This is all your fault, as usual. If you would have just forged the damn will.
Hey, you know, Kerrigan, this is condemned seafront property.
Dibs, don't you?
Alright, hold it right there. Think about what was just said. Beachfront property in Maine. I'm no real estate agent by no means, but if Kerrigan wanted money, she could sell that land to a land developer and get a decent chunk of change for it. But that would probably also end the movie. The movie must go on. Having a temper tantrum, she throws the deed into a fire with Dib scrambling to fish it out.
Buccaneers and buried gold, Whipstaff doth a treasure hold.
Treasure? Dibs, you idiot, get it.
Wow, that looks like it was drawn by a child. Foreshadowing, maybe? They head to Whipstaff Manor and meet the residents.
Hi, I'm Casper. No. Shh, you shouldn't do that or you'll wake up. Too late.
After a wide array of attempts from cameos,
I have quite a bit of experience. Not, like exactly doing it, but I've studied it. And I talked to people who have done it. I've seen the videos, and I feel very confident in it.
Well, how did it go?
Oh, it was fine. Was no problem. Piece of cake.
Who you gonna call? Someone else.
and demolitions, all ending in failure, Kerrigan gives up for the time being until Casper catches a news highlight of a ghost therapist, Dr. James Harvey, played by Bill Pullman, and his daughter, Kat, played by Christina Ricci, who are currently touring the country. Casper sees a perfect opportunity to make friends and something more, maybe, and thus arranges for Kerrigan to hire them. With all this pretty fall foliage and Maine scenery and stuff like that, ghost story as a backdrop, I guess it could make a Stephen King joke. But I'm better than that, so.
It's not so bad, huh?
You're Stephen King.
Bite me, movie. The Harveys arrive at Whipstaff Manor and go through rushed and uncomfortable formalities with Kerrigan and Dibbs. Stranger danger! Stranger danger! After a bit, the Harveys start settling in when Casper tries to initiate first contact.
Hi?
Hey, at least you didn't scream.
Better?
There it is. Here comes the doc. He's a ghost therapist. Maybe he won't overact.
There. See?
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
What kind of scream was that? It's like the first time he's seen a ghost. Well, hold up. Does that mean a chunk of that report was bullshit?
My Harry passed away 5 years ago, but he was so miserable his spirit wouldn't leave the apartment. So I called Dr. Harvey. He came over, and in a few weeks, Harry left, smiling.
You are fake news.
After first contact, the best part of the movie shows up as the ghostly trio. Stretch, Fatso, and Stinky, who go and introduce themselves to their new guest.
In the room. Can you deal with that?
Can you?
We get in some more cameo jokes.
I'm gonna kill you, your mama, and all her bridge playing friends.
You think you got it tough? I got a facelift. There was one just like it underneath.
I'm gonna...
That last cameo makes it all too clear where this movie's humor was inspired from.
Hey boys, we got a closet case here.
The trio terrorizes the Harvey until the doc starts fighting back.
Smellogram.
Oh, stop. It's you.
Are we scary or what?
Oh.
Winning with an out-of-place vacuum. The next morning, Kat comes back armed with a dustbuster, exploring the house until she comes across Casper. Casper explains things and makes breakfast as a peace offering, and getting closer to Kat and her dad in the process. The trio wake up, come down to breakfast, mess with the Harveys, eat, and make puns.
I feel like Oprah on hiatus.
You look like Oprah on hiatus.
Don't you mean like Oprah consuming Maui? And also to kick Casper around, literally. Which of course starts a fight with Kat defending Casper. The doc breaks it up and sends Kat to school, which is odd, she just got there the night before. And the trio offered a spot on the couch to begin their therapy session, giving the best response I guess they could give. Now this is where the movie splinters off into different plot branches, with the trio attending therapy sessions, Kerrigan and Dibbs sneaking into the house looking for treasure, Kat trying to fit in at her new school, dealing with a bully, and being roped into hosting a Halloween dance at the manor. Then being asked to said dance by a flunky of the bully. I'm guessing it's the bully's boyfriend, it really never states it. There's already an antagonist with a flunky. I mean, why have another one? Then you have Dr. Harvey's therapy sessions with the trio. Dr. Harvey became a ghost therapist crossing the country with his daughter to try to locate the ghost of his dead wife, convinced that she is a ghost with unfinished business. But with each session with the trio, he gets more and more discouraged, and the trio pranking him in certain ways really don't help much either. Harvey sinks into a depression, so the trio have an answer to this problem.
And what I'm thinking,
Gentlemen,
happy hour.
Happy hour.
Happy hour.
Which ends the way you would expect it.
we are going to clean out every bar this town has got. We're going to booze it until we lose it. Come on, come on.
But the real meat of this movie is Kat and Casper's friendship. It turns out Kat is a better therapist than her dad. After listening to Casper's story, the longer someone is dead, the more their memories begin to fade, eventually losing sight of who they originally were. So Kat goes on a hunt through the house to find something to connect Casper to his past. She comes across the old playroom and reintroduces Casper to his old childhood. They explore more through the attic, coming across his mom's old dress, which she gives to Kat. And then Casper comes across his old sled. And one of the most touching parts of the movie happens.
Got late. Got dark. Got cold. And I got sick. My dad got sad.
Now, if you pause the movie at this specific point, a lot of world building is just on these papers on the floor. Apparently, Casper's last name was McFadden. That's different. And his dad was so determined to bring his son back to life that he built a machine to try to do so. But before he could finish the project, he was institutionalized. And since Casper never saw him again, I'm going to assume that he died in the asylum. And going so long, Casper completely forgot about him and his sole reason for not crossing over. That's fucking depressing, man. The kids decide to find the Lazarus machine in the basement, going on a trippy roller coaster ride with Kerrigan and Dibbs hot on their trail. Make it into the basement and start looking around for the machine, with Casper getting all nostalgic and shouting all the stuff did the dim-wet duo just want to hear.
That? Nah, that's the vault.
Until Kat comes across a specific book. Subtle. They play around with the machine trying to get it to work, finding the one and only jar that makes it work. What did Casper call it?
Kind of an instant primordial soup mix. It's what brings ghosts back to life.
Okay. They put it together and flip the switch and hope for the best, but Dibbs pulls a dick move and screws over the kids. Kerrigan and Dibbs hatch a plan to die, become a ghost, go in and get the treasure, come back out, and they get resurrected with the Lazarus machine. That's a lot of faith to put into a jar that looks like it's full of Kool-Aid. Like I said, dimwit duo. They try to kill each other, Kerrigan making the mistake of not watching where she steps.
Not so fast, little man. The bitch is back.
What do you know? It worked. She flies back down to the basement, grabs the treasure, but lo and behold, Dibbs flips and more or less tells Kerrigan to fly off.
You ungrateful, lousy little worm, you!
Oh, you can haunt me all you want, but it's gonna be in a great, big, expensive house with lovely purple wallpaper and great big green carpets.
So you want your house to look like Barney the dinosaur?
You love me, we're a happy family. You love me, we're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you.
That is a terrifying house. Kerrigan sends Dibbs on a one-way flight out of the house, declaring that she has everything she ever wanted, which is bad if you want to stay a ghost.
Wait! I lied! I have unfinished business, lots of unfinished business! I'm
A ball? That's your treasure?
That's pretty funny. Two morons killed each other over a child's keepsake. It's actually kind of dark, too, if you consider it. They go in looking for riches, kill each other off, and then get ended by a girl in a creepy dress. I mean, that'd probably make a good horror movie on its own. All seems clear for Casper to begin his resurrection, but wait, wasn't there someone else who kicked the bucket? Oh yeah. Of course, Casper, being the friendly ghost, gives up his spot to the machine, dooming himself to be a ghost forever. Everyone goes back upstairs with the Halloween dance in full swing. Oh yeah, by the way, they made it.
We're here.
Kat waits on her date, but he kinda hauled ass earlier.
Thank you.
Casper, upstairs, visibly upset, gets a visit from a special somebody, Kat's mom, who's supposedly an angel, but with those colors you could tell. Because of his selflessness in resurrecting Dr. Harvey, she offers Casper a reward. She'll make Casper a human for an hour. Wait, hold up, Judging Amy. Casper does something like that and you reward him with a single date at a dance. Not anything cool like helping him cross over to be with his dad or family or something like that. No, you just didn't want your daughter being the odd duck out without a date. If Kat had a date, would you have even showed up? Ah, fuck you, bitch. Casper goes and dances with Kat in an impractical way, while the Heartless Wanderer visits Dr. Harvey and gives him a closure that he's been looking for. The clock strikes 10, Lucifer gimps off back to where she came from, taking Casper's costume with her, scaring all the party goers out the door and ending the movie. And that was Casper. It's not a bad film, but it does have problems holding it back. The movie has so many plot lines, it stretches itself so thin in places, feeling more unfocused and scattered as it goes on. If some of these plot lines were cut and that time was focused elsewhere, it would have made for a tighter script and a better movie. And then there's the cameos. The machine gun nature of these cameos feels so out of place. It's nowhere as bad as a Sharknado movie. Since they're all squeezed into the opening act, it's such a short time frame they feel rushed and pointless. Hell, I forgot half of them by the time the movie's over with. A better example of where cameo humor is done right is something like the Warner Brothers cartoons, like Bugs and his crew, or heck, the Animaniacs, which was in full swing at this time, back during 1993 on up.
Number one sister, dust for Prince.
I found Prince!
No, fingerprints.
I don't think so.
Their brand of comedy just walks all over this. Now, the regular jokes, the regular pun humor, it's hit and miss at times. A lot of it is pop culture references and puns, but this was par for the course for the time. Disney's Aladdin came out in 92 and it's just ripe with this kind of humor. But there is a lot of good this film does too. The sets are fairly impressive. I mean, the whole house looks like a Tim Burton fever dream. Casting is okay. The villains are bumbling idiots, but entertaining. I will admit this is my favorite role for Bill Pullman. If you watch any of Bill's other roles, he's kind of wooden. Yeah, I like the Independence Day speech too, but even in that film, he seems stiff. I expect to see the Blue Fairy come in and ask if he wants to be a real boy. But here he's trying. I don't know if he's throwing caution in the wind and just don't give a shit, but it's still entertaining.
Dad, I'm sorry.
For what?
For not believing you. For thinking you were a total loser.
Oh, honey. Apologize later.
Christina Ricci, like most of her early roles, does a damn good job, as always. Not feeling awkward or out of place, but the ones that steal the show are the ghosts. They're all decent adaptations of their cartoon character counterparts with subtle changes in the visual tweaks here and there. Like Casper looks like his cartoon incarnations, while the ghostly trio are updated. And some people have commented on the CG, and normally I go pretty hard on CG, but here I think it's acceptable. By no means this is the best that come from Industrial Light and Magic, but there was a design choice here, keeping the ghost in more of a cartoon look to get away with more visual gags without them looking uncanny. The little details squeezed into certain scenes, like Stretch throwing a cigar through Casper's head, or the green breath that comes out of Stinky's mouth when he's exasperated, it's nice little touches. Hell, even the scene right here where Casper's hitting his head on this bedpost, the dirt coming off this side. They didn't have to put that there, but it is a nice touch. Would I recommend this? Yeah, I would. As a family Halloween movie, it does enough right to be played next to Hocus Pocus or Nightmare Before Christmas. So if you got some kids that want to sit down and watch it before the holidays, I wouldn't fault you for it. It's not great, but it's not bad. Or at least that's my opinion anyway. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Y'all take care. Just a little off-script note. I'd like to thank all my subscribers that clicked on this month. Didn't expect to get that many this month, so thanks. And I would like to wish everybody a happy Halloween. Stay safe and have fun, y'all.